giving us the latest on the Bill Cosby trial. Good morning, Lindsay Davis.
Good morning, McGraw. So the judge, as many people know, rejected Bill Cosby's motion to dismiss the criminal charges against him. Basically, Cosby's defense had argued that the then DA had made a promise and written it only in a signed press release that the county would never criminally prosecute Bill Cosby in the Andrea Constant case. She's the former Temple University employee who accused Cosby of drugging and sexually assaulting her at his Pennsylvania home back in 2004. Now, the former DA said that he did that so that Cosby would not be able to invoke his Fifth Amendment rights to not incriminate himself in a civil suit. Now, Cosby's team had also filed a motion that they wanted the current DA dismissed from the case, citing bias, because in his election campaign, he had ads and tweets specifically saying, if you vote for me, I'm going to prosecute Cosby. But the judge ruled against him in that matter, too, so a preliminary hearing is set for March 8th. And Monique Presley, one of Cosby's attorneys, told me last night that they will be appealing.
Okay, so the former DA said there wasn't enough evidence to charge Bill Cosby. What new evidence, or what does this new DA know that the other DA didn't know?
Well, I mean, the only thing that you could say is at the time, the then DA said that they did have about 12 women who came forward also saying that they had been drugged or sexually assaulted or both by Bill Cosby, okay? But he said that all of those instances were at least a decade or more older, and in none of those cases had the women gone to police. What you could say is that this current DA has maybe 50 or more women that he might be able to use because their testimony will be permissible in this trial. So, the only problem is he may feel that it's the same case, that, in none of the instances have they been within the last decade, and that none of the women went to police. Perhaps he doesn't feel that there's an issue with that.
Yeah. Is this shaping up to be another, I don't want to say trial of the century, but are cameras going to be in the court, and how much of a circus are you starting to see around this trial?
I mean, there was a circus certainly the last 2 days for just this pretrial hearing. So you can only imagine what it's going to be like when an actual trial does begin. And I do think that, there are going to be a lot of comparisons drawn to the O.J. Simpson trial, of course. But I think it's going to be a wait and see. But to answer your initial question, there are no cameras allowed inside the court. So there may be a little bit less attention because, obviously with OJ, it was like people were tuning in and watching every day, and you won't be able to do that here.
Yeah. And Bill Cosby, he's being ushered into the courtroom with sort of walkers side by side with him. Is he physically okay, or is that an act?
Physically he's very fit, I would say, but he's legally blind, so he really can't see, and that's why he needs guidance in and out of the courtroom.
Oh, interesting.
Didn't know that.
Good to know. All right, Lindsay Davis, who's on top. So when's the trial planning to? What's the next step then?
So the preliminary hearing is set for March 8th. I would imagine we're not going to have a trial for quite a bit down the road, because if it is the case that they're going to interview 50-plus women and depose them, it's just going to be a big process, I'd imagine.
Lindsay Davis, ABC News radio correspondent in Norristown, Pennsylvania, giving us all the latest. Lindsay, thanks for checking in.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. 710 here, Big 550, KTRS. I didn't know he was legally blind.
I didn't either.
That's why
now I feel kind of bad when I was saying, why are they practically